haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Hi, this is William Moeller of Elektronite, and you're watching Papa Pete, the old guy gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to. If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
And I knew I hadn't taken that off, so I'll just talk through it while I turn that off. Scroll it up. And I knew I hadn't taken that off, so I'll just talk through it while I turn that off. Scroll it up. And I knew I hadn't taken that off, so I'll just let that go here while I turn that off. Scroll it up. And I knew I hadn't taken that off, so I'll just let that go here while I turn that off. That's really strange. That's really great. Wow. Is that coming through on you too, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm hearing it. No, I'm not hearing it.
And it just went away. Okay, good. Hopefully that's it for that. I don't know. That was really strange. That was really strange.
I was thinking we could just leave and then it could just keep playing the voices.
It might have been me testing the link earlier on my phone is what did it. And I've turned things down on my phone. So, hi guys. Now that we got that distraction out of the way and get the visit from Salvatore the Bagman. And unfortunately, as you probably can tell right now, I don't know if times get messed up, but I haven't heard from Willie. So he may be popping in a little bit. If not, we're ready to go. If he can't make it, I'll talk to him again some other time about everything we're going to talk about tonight. But as you all know, I woke up this morning to some sad news from Luke that he had just found out about the passing of Carl Mueller Jr. Of course, just so you know, though, Carl was living in Japan, and he actually passed away back in July. But it wasn't known to the community until just today. So, very, very sad situation. Of course, Carl is such a historic member of the community, being involved with the first creation of emulators. The very first, everybody knows that the first Intellivision Homebrew ever released was Fortress, but the actual first one that was started working upon, or somebody started working on, was D2K Arcade. It was Carl back in the day. And it took a long time for it to sort of get to fruition, to get to the completed status that we know and love today. But that was the very first really in Intellivision Homebrew. So, yeah, it's a pretty significant event in the realm of the Intellivision Homebrew community. So, anyway, today we're going to celebrate Carl's life by playing a few of his games, and there are some great ones. There aren't a whole lot, but we're going to be able to play them for a while because, man, we love these games, Jeff, right?
Yeah, they're really, really good.
I mean, DK Arcade, D2K Arcade, the variety there, and then Miss Pac-Man is just so much fun as well. It's an incredible version of the game. So, anyway, how have you been, Jeff?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Good. Glad here. I haven't talked to you much since this weekend. A couple messages back and forth. We watched SummerSlam this weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Odd seeing Brock Lesnar back. I didn't think we'd see him again.
So true. I mean, they were putting they were putting false info out there that he was never going to be back, and he shows up at the very end, and it's like, whoa.
They're pulling some fast ones on us. Seth Rollins is supposed to be out for months.
There you go. And he came back and won the title. Spoilers everywhere here, right? Anybody who's sitting there waiting to watch SummerSlam, like till they're on their days off on Wednesday and Thursday, we just destroyed it for you.
Yes, that's all right.
Let's get over to the comments. All great crowd in here tonight already. Holy cow. Benvril, of course, right in here. Yes, thank you, Benvril. Thank you, Lance. Lance Jennings in the house. Who is that guy anyway? We know Lance Jennings, don't we? That's him right there.
That's him.
That's him. I think he's on your shirt too, isn't he, Jeff? Yeah, right there. Isn't that great? That's a great shirt right there. I love it. Sloppy Martian is a genius. Now we're going to have Salvatore shirts or something now, right? Or we'll have to get Salvatore's mug up in here so I can go this, and we have Salvatore the Bagman up there. I hope you were paying attention, Salvatore. I gave you a warning. Oh, something very important here.
Yep, I need a Bagman shirt, Pete.
We need a Bagman shirt. Got to have a Bagman shirt. That's for sure. All right, let's go back over to this. Get down through. Speak of the devil, there he is. Salvatore. Scrolling down through. I hate when I scroll down through and I can't. It erases the things that I see. It covers them. Kurt Bradshaw's here. Great to see you, Kurt. Pierre Garreau is here. That's beautiful. Great to see you, Junebug. Yeah, and there I don't see the comment in there, but Lonnie Anderson, it would have been her 80th birthday today. That was a big news over the weekend, don't you think?
Yeah, it was it's a shame. I didn't know she was sick or anything. I haven't seen anything of her for years.
Yeah, that's it. They said that she had been battling an illness. I wasn't aware of that at all. So, what else do we have here? Scrolling down through. Everybody's saying hello back and forth. We all kinds of Craig Finstad. Great to see you, Craig. Excellent. Ton jeu préféré, Pierre? Quel est ton jeu préféré? His favorite game for those who don't. Qui ne comprend pas le français? I missed somebody. Mark, right there. There's Mark. Good to see you, Mark. Torso is here. Got a few other ones in there popping up in the other chat I'm not seeing. Maybe I just haven't gotten down there yet. Scrolling. IR Geek is here. Great to see you, IR Geek. Thanks for being here. Oh, let's see. Yes, it was very sad news. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Mark. Sorry. Hasselhoff is here. Great to see you, Hasselhoff. Nice. Yeah, it's sad day. Slappy is absolutely a genius. And he did definitely make the best port of Donkey Kong for sure. Let's see. French fries dude is here. Woo. Woo to you too. Woody woodaloo. And I think I'm almost at the bottom here. No, Boomtendo is here. It's awesome. You were remembering him. Right on. Thank you. Man, he meant so much to this community over the years, Boomtendo, really, that he deserves to be remembered in a good way. And there is I am AI. Mike Rouse is AI. I think that's what he's trying to say. I am AI guy.
He's a fry guy.
I am a fry guy. Okay, gotcha. DK Arcade followed by Miss Pac-Man. We're going to have lots of time to play those 3 games here tonight. Have I heard from Willie yet? I have not. So, double checking again. Try not to screw up my sound again. Holy cow. Okay, so I guess without any further ado, we should play some games, Jeff. How's that sound? Why?
Should we start with the original Donkey Kong arcade?
I think that's the best thing to do right there. Yes, there's let's see, chat. Catch the interview with Carl on Intellivision Aries. I highly recommend that as well. I listened to it all today to try to get some more insight in because I had listened to it, of course, before. And just so you guys know, it is in episode 16. sorry, episode 15, Donkey Kong DK Arcade, D2K Arcade is the subject. And he is on at about the 3-hour and 24-minute mark is where his interview starts. So if you're looking for that, I'll put a link down in I'll have a video out on an Old Guys and Old Games on Carl's Games, probably tomorrow sometime it'll go live. And there will be a link straight to that Intellivisionaries page with that episode. So yeah, I do highly recommend the interview. It's Paul doing the interview with Carl, and it's very, very good, very interesting. So a lot of insight into the challenges that he faced at the time, his love for Intellivision, the programming challenges he made. Of course, like Willie was going to talk about today, was Willie and Frank. I can't remember for the life of me what Frank's last name was off the top. And Carl, and they created the very first Intellivision Emulator. And that is when Carl started developing DK Arcade. And it's really quite a story. In fact, just to show you, I got a picture here to show you of the three of them right here. There, look at Willie there, huh? That is one young Willie Moeller on the left-hand side. And of course, that's Frank in the middle and Carl, I'm quite sure. And I'm 95% sure, Carl on the far right. Of course, that's, again, much younger days, right? So really interesting. And just for you guys, go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Oh, I think that's an Atari Jaguar on top of the TV, isn't it?
It may be.
Looks like one.
I'm going to go and just take that.
How old was Carl?
Carl was 52.
Jeez.
Yeah, very young.
Oh,
he had been dealing with his illness since he was 17, is what he says in the Intellivisionaries interview. And at that point, and the interview was done in 2014, he was programming by voice recognition. All of his coding was done by voice recognition.
Holy
so,
smoke.
Yeah, it was a real challenge, the things that he dealt with in life. So, but man, the work that he did was pretty amazing. I mean, yeah. And if you haven't checked it, his website is still up. Carl Mueller Jr.com, I think will get you there, or it's carlmuellerjr.blogspot.com will get you there. And the website is still there if you want to take a look at some of the work and the different his write-ups about DK Arcade and DK2. Also again about the special edition and about, I think there's some Miss Pac-Man stuff there too. So yeah, 52 is young, very young, Boomtendo. Absolutely. Yeah, Hasselhoff says that's a Jaguar for sure. Yeah, and the thing is just to let you guys know, I was talking to Rev earlier today, and he gave me permission to talk about this, but they were actually in the works for making a game called basically Popeye 2. Okay, and Carl was very roughly started on it. Not very much had been done at all, but just a second. Oh yeah, it's there you go. I've got the names over it. It's a master component. It's a keyboard component that he's got the console plugged into. Look at that. There's a keyboard component right there, right? In that picture. But anyway, Rev was saying that they had gotten as far with this Popeye 2 that I'm going to another screen here. Take a look at this. Right. And again, Rev has given me permission to show this here tonight. And just wanted to let everybody know as well that it still will probably be developed. He still fully expects to develop this game, Rev does. So this will hopefully see some use in the future. But that was the project that Carl was going to be working on. And there was going to be some involvement by some other people in the Intellivision homebrew community as well. And I'm sure he won't mind me saying, just Tarzilla and such had done some backgrounds and such for you. And I mentioned that to Rev, and Rev said, yeah, you can show this too, but don't anybody copy it because they are going to keep using it right there. Just the kind of backgrounds and stuff. That's a real rough thing, but that's the type of info that Rev has.
That's one of the best box arts I've seen, Pete. Who did the illustration? That's amazing.
I don't know. I mean, that's Rev did that. Rev had that done. And I really don't know. He's probably in the chat, so maybe he's willing to say. If not, I know he told me I of course invited a few different people on, and Rev is in the chat. He said he'd be in the chat tonight. So, but anyway, pretty cool. Something to look forward to. There's lots of great games coming. Rev has a bunch of games coming, guys. I mean, more than just the ones you've shown. I mean, it's been so long now, you've probably forgotten that Mermaid and Princess Liddy. I did videos on them. I think it's been nearly a year, right? But that's the way they go. That's the way it works. There's still testing going on them. I know Luke has more games in the works. Obviously, Willie has other plans going forward. It's still, there's some great things coming down the pipe, and this things will still happen. But it's just so very sad to lose such an incredibly skilled. And Carl didn't do Inti Basic. Carl was an old school assembly programmer, right? Because that's what he did.
Wow.
So yeah. Anyway, did I forget anything? Did I miss anything, Jeff?
I don't think so.
Let's play some DK Arcade. How's that sound? I'm going to put my commercial up first. Of course, remember, yes, Road Fighter is now available from Intellivision Collector, available on their website right now. Go check it out. Boomtendo, where to get these games? It's not that easy to get these games. Mind you, Miss Pac-Man is an Intellivision release. So go to Intellivision.us into the ROMs vault. And I am not sure. Maybe somebody will check. I'll put Lance or Salvatore on that. Check to see if that's in there, if it's free, if it's $5, or if it's maybe not even there. But I think it's there. And I think it's even free to get the ROM. DK Arcade, D2K Arcade, and the special edition, you were able to buy them from Carl up until about a month ago. Well, a month and a half ago. People were getting them right up until June. And unfortunately, obviously, that's no longer possible. But Willie has told me that those games will be available via Elektronite sometime in the future, because that's where the rights go to, is Elektronite. So they will be available in the future, and you can still get physical copies of those of D2K and DK Arcade from Elektronite as well. You still can. I don't know if he has a made right now, but sporadically there are more and more available all the time. So I never even thought I should have pulled mine out. They're right here, right behind me. But there's the two games right there: DK Arcade, D2K Arcade. I do not have Miss Pac-Man. I think Chuck's got a Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. He's talked
way
about
back in the day. Yeah, he loves that game. Oh, there's Tarzella. We have 3 screens designed, graphics and gameplay, along with a bonus level. Carl was starting on converting the graphics using his methodology since he wasn't using Inti Basic. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. I haven't got that up there, Jeff. Thank you for catching that. On that note, guys, I'm going to play my quick video. Like I said, Intellivision Collector now has Road Fighter available. Montezuma's Revenge. I'm going to say this right now before we get into the Montezuma's Revenge will be available soon. They're just waiting on some stuff for the boxes. Canadian postal strike may become problematic, but we are not on strike yet in Canada. Another question that's been brought up a lot of the times is about the getting rid of that what's it called, Jeff? The de minimis exemption.
I don't know what that is.
The $800 shipment into the U.S. that used to be exempt.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. They're getting rid of that at the end of the month. Anyway, just so you know, anybody who orders anything from Intellivision Collector that goes into, you're not going to see any change in Intellivision Collector. That's a fee that will be charged to the importer or the purchaser by the carrier, which is the United States Postal Service, upon delivery. So just a lot of confusion on that, thinking that there's it affects some other countries. It doesn't. The prices on Intellivision Collector will stay the exact same for anything that's there now. If you order something and have it shipped to any country in the world, those countries will have to assess their own tariffs and taxes, and that's not part of the purchase. No taxes or tariffs are included in any of the purchase prices, except for the actual Canadian taxes for purchases within Canada. But it's just a strange thing, because up until now, everybody in the U.S. could buy something if it was less than $800, and when it was sent to them, they just got it, and now they're going to have to deal with other things. So very, very unfortunate. But anyway, I just wanted to read any questions. I'm glad to answer questions on that if anybody has any. But right now, let's put up the video. And actually, I might have taken the video down. I think I did. Let's play some games, Jeff. I got to get the share up.
All right, let me switch over here.
Okay. We're going to which screen? This screen, I think. Share screen. Help if I did this first. All right, almost there. Almost there. I don't want to start recording. What do I want to do? I want to do this. Preview. No. There it is. Make that smaller. Hit share. Add to stage.
Boom.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Not Death Race. I want D2K Arcade right there. All right. Let me get my chat back up here too so I can see what people are saying. Yeah, you're doing a pretty good job of it though, Kurt. Just like Hasselhoff says, your collection's really going crazy. That's beautiful.
Why is your screen so different? I mean, it's a completely different screen.
Well, you know what I bet you have? You're playing the original version.
Oh, I
You're
am.
probably playing
2011.
Donkey Kong Arcade, whereas I'm playing D2K Arcade, which is just fine. Donkey Kong Arcade was released by Intellivision first. What does your see? Yours says Donkey Kong Arcade right there. So this is actually pretty good because the initial release was by Intellivision. It's the brown box version, and that's what you're playing. I'm going to be playing the one that was released by Elektronite. Basically the same game though.
Interesting. Okay.
If you took us up on becoming a part of America, you wouldn't have to worry about these duties. Why? I'm the only one. We're the ones who don't. It's only you that have to worry about them. I think you mean it the other way around. All right. I don't know why Donkey Kong is wearing a red tie. All right, let's do it.
That's Nintendo Red. He always wears that.
You hear that? I hit 1981 when he was climbing the ladder, and now I'll get the voice. There it is.
Huh.
That's a little Easter egg. Somehow Carl worked in voice without the IntelliVoice, without anything, that little voice clip. Pretty amazing, really. Now, I would be absolutely terrible at this because,
Ah,
well, yeah, I was, because I have a hard time talking and playing at the same time. My wife would be the first person to say that, no, he cannot multitask. Get up there.
oh shoot! I haven't even made it to the top yet. So what's the, is there any? There's nothing big different here, right? Between these two versions,
No.
this layout looks exactly the same.
Yes.
Oh come on!
No, there's no big difference. Keep playing. Every time we lose, we'll whichever one of us lose, we'll go back and check the chat. How's that sound? And if there's
I'm
anything
good.
important,
I'll be checking a lot, Pete.
we'll know. Go away.
This plays so much better.
Oh, shoot. It really does, eh?
I mean, just getting to the ladder, I can just roll the disc and get up there.
I mean, and you've played it. My personal opinion is this is a lot smoother than the ColecoVision version, for example.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Oh, shoot. I did that to myself.
And the flickering is barely noticeable on a tube TV. Too bad your emulators don't properly emulate phosphor persistence. Well, that might be asking a little bit too much, Don.
Oh,
Oh, that one went slick. What are you saying? This is less grating to listen to than the Coleco one? The Coleco version? Oh, I'm terrible at this
I think he was saying that we're less grating to listen to.
Wow. Whoa! Good jump.
Come on now.
That it? Nope, I got one more. I rarely get through this level.
Come on down.
Woohoo! This will drive me nuts to these springs. Hey, we get through it. Oh, Kurt has Carl's Donkey Kong in the brown box, Intellivision. Carl Mueller's name is on the cover of the box right above Donkey Kong. There 3 stars under it. And that is the version that Jeff is playing, Kurt.
So this version only has 2 levels, Pete?
Oh, no, but you only do 2 levels first time through.
Oh, okay.
I'm the second time through, and I just had the elevator level, right?
Ah.
Come on, get out of there.
Shoot.
Oh, look who's here. Hold on, we're going to add him in. There he is. Hey, Willie. Let me get that.
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. How are you doing?
Good. Sorry I slept in.
Oh, listen, I was saying, what time is it there? It's like right now, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30? 7:30?
7:30.
Oh,
I thought it was 8 o'clock. So I don't know.
well, listen, we'll,
No, I thought it was 8 o'clock. I had to be on.
I'm done now. You keep playing, Jeff. Well, that's all. Thanks for joining us, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. What do we have here?
I'm playing D2K Arcade. Jeff is actually playing the original Intellivision Donkey Kong Arcade.
Just a moment. I got some audio echo here. Hang on.
Okay, you're coming through pretty good on this end.
I think I have YouTube on at the same time.
I see. That would do it. Yeah.
Hello?
Yep. We're here.
Hang on. I'm going to try and find myself now. I have too many windows open.
Hasselhoff, welcome, William Moeller. Nice to see you on the stream. It's always great to have Wood Willie stops by. Kurt, Benvril. There's Craig. You okay?
Oh, man.
Now we've got some sound. Now, of course, the other neat part about this game, guys, is there's 3 different characters you can play. Mario. Tony is a little bit faster, jumps a little bit further, and he can jump with the hammer. And then you also have Bruno, who's slower, but he can fall.
I named those guys.
Did you?
Yeah.
There you go.
Carl asked me which, what are some Italian names? So I came up with Bruno and
Tony should have had a Y, though. Where'd it go? Tony should have had a Y.
I have the source code, so I can copy it.
That's funny. You said Tony is a real Italian name. Absolutely true. Oh, hey, Roger. Good to see you, Roger. That's too bad about Carl. Great that you guys are remembering him and his games in this episode. Thanks for that, Pete and Jeff. Thank you, Roger. Another person who's done incredible things in the community over the years. And it's all very much appreciated, man. And yeah, Carl was. I mean, that's one of the names when I first started hearing about the the community and started learning about things and where it started and how it started back in the day. With when Keith was building up Intellivision on the internet as well with the Blue Sky Rangers webpage and Television Lives, and then you get looking at all the different homebrew stuff, and I saw the names like Willie and Carl and Joe and Willie. I'm going to put this picture back up right now. Can you see the screen right now? How are you doing?
I just found it. Okay, yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to put a picture back up, which I got today, and I don't know if I looked and I don't see where you sent it to me, but maybe you must have sent it to me. Or it was on one of your posts. Here it is, right here.
I sent you a bunch of pictures. Yes, that's me.
Yeah, I know that's you. That's a young William Moeller right there. He said. But what's Frank's last name again?
Palazzolo.
Palazzolo.
That's at Frank Palazzolo's house in Detroit.
Oh wow! And Carl.
Carl's from St. Clair Shores, which is close to Detroit.
Okay.
And he came over when I brought my keyboard component.
Yep.
To Frank's to do some reverse engineering. So we did the first reverse engineering on the keyboard component. I got a hold of it, and that was the first time anyone had taken apart a keyboard. It was actually broken. Frank fixed it, and he got the Apple II monitor working on it, and basically was the key to reverse engineering the keyboard component that Deckel does right now.
Right. So this is like the foundation of that work that Deckel has done over the last few years with the keyboard component.
Exactly.
It's even in my intro. Ooh la la! That what was her name? Fifi in the French conversational French.
Right.
That's
the idea was to get that as part of the emulator, and for years Frank had all the data on these. He had a 4-track cassette. And he read all the cassette data because he borrowed it from this guy. I forget what his name is, but he used to do a funny SCTV imitation, which made me laugh all the time.
Oh my God!
He was a big collector. But we did recently Luke got a hold of an old motherboard.
Yes.
that was ripped apart on the television. What happened was that was actually the Intellivision that we used to build the cart dumper. Ripped apart one of my Intellivisions.
Oh wow!
And we took the cart, the exec and the graphic ROM off of the chip. And, and plugged it into the dumper that we built. But I used those parts, and then eventually they were sitting at my friend's house in Hamilton, and a friend of Luke's had a bunch of old broken Intellivisions and sold them to Luke. So Luke recently got my prototype Intellivision board that we basically was responsible for the cart dumper.
Wow. That is so cool. And I Jeff had that up there. Thank you, IR Geek. And thank you so much. That's very, very generous. And yeah, absolutely. We'll never forget the work that was done. And it's like great to hear. If we have questions, this is a perfect time. Questions for Willie. We went through a few things earlier, Willie. And I tried to think of some things that you would be able to, that we've already gone over that you would have been able to answer for us very, very quickly. But that was, I'm going to take this picture down and I'm going to get us back up on the screen. How's that sound, Jeff? Let's get back up on the screen for a little bit and then we'll play over with D2K Arcade afterward. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to go back to, there we go.
Let me reset my television here.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that Keith Robinson brought back the Intellivision, but it's not true. Carl did it.
You mean, but extrapolate on that a little bit.
Well, Keith Robinson, after he left INTV Corp when it went bankrupt,
Right.
he made a website called makingit.com, which was for his cartoon.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Of that, he had a Blue Sky Rangers website on there, and from there, had some information, but that was about it.
Right. Okay.
So I met Carl on the internet. I was one of the first adopters of the internet.
Sure. Yeah.
I was actually almost. I tried to convince my friend to become the world's or the first internet provider in Hamilton, Ontario.
ISP. I can remember you. Yeah. Tell that story because they've told me before, but
I couldn't convince my friend that the internet was going to be the next big thing.
Guess what?
Yeah, I know. He says, "How do you know it?" I said, "I just know." He says, "We can't take a risk on that." So we left that opportunity go by. But I used to dial in long distance to get on the internet. But back when the internet was Usenet. I mean, this is before
Sure.
the World Wide Web was even really popular.
Right. It was like a news services, right? News.
It was like a massive bulletin board system.
Yes. Yeah.
And on there they had very alternative interests, and
I do remember those days. There was hundreds of these different rooms,
Right.
but you would start looking, and some would just be like nothing.
like for example, there was one on there for CFL football. I like CFL football,
Yeah,
and I remember talking to an American, and he said to me, "It's hard to take you serious when you keep spelling defense and offense wrong."
Oh, geez.
With a C. but it was really funny. But anyway, there were all these interest groups, and of course, I was interested in television back
Yeah.
then. And so I got on there, and there's this guy named Carl Mueller, and he says, "I got a hold of a couple of ROMs," and it turned out that he found these two ROMs from a guy named Sean Kelly.
Sean Kelly. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Sean, go ahead.
Trucking.
Yeah,
And
Popeye.
I don't know. Popeye. Wow.
Yeah. So Popeye and Truckin' were the first two ROMs that were found on these test cards. See, the ICs or the ROMs inside these Intellivision cards are not standard EPROMs. A lot of people who don't know anything about the Intellivision think that we just rip open an old Intellivision cartridge, steal the circuit board, drop an EPROM on the thing, and presto, for $2 there we've got a new cart. But it's not how it works.
Okay.
See, all of these ICs do their own what they call address. So the Intellivision is a 16-bit system, 10-bit opcodes, 8-bit and 16-bit memory. So it basically is a real weird machine, right? So when you stick the cartridge in, it has these different memory locations to start a cartridge. So the Intellivision, we had to figure out all this information by ourselves.
Yeah.
So Carl had gone as far as he could, looking at the code of these two games, and he actually started. He found an old sheet that had the opcodes for the Intellivision, and he started writing an emulator, and he was writing it in Pascal, Borland Pascal, on the PC.
Yeah.
So I saw this as he needed help, and I thought, well, I'm going to help him.
There you go.
It's got to, I don't know how to do this myself, but I had a friend who was pretty smart.
Yep.
And his name was Scott Nuds. So
Yeah.
I went up to Scott's house and I said, I got these Intellivision cartridges. Showed him one. I said, "How do you get the information on the Intellivision card out of the cartridge?" And he goes, "Oh, it's trivial." Trivial. Yeah, really. Oh, simple, easy. Oh, really? Prove it. So we hopped in the car, and I went off to my local community college, Mohawk College in Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
I used to go to Mohawk College, so I saw my sister, and I'm in the library. What are you doing here? And I says, oh, I'm doing some research. So we went into the library, and we were going, we're looking for this, General Instruments CIP 1600 CPU. Do you have any info on it? So we went to the library, and we found an old Osborne book with the data sheet for these, for these cards. We did some photocopying, went back, took one of my Intellivisions, started ripping it apart, and Scott built a dumper. And we started sticking Intellivision carts in this dumper, and he wrote some software out, and we started sucking the information off the cartridges.
Wow.
So we started sending it to Carl, and things really started cooking with gas then.
So then Carl could really test. That's what Carl was working on the emulator at that point.
And everything was a bit stream. So basically, all those graphic raw, most of the games out there, the early games are my dumps. From my Intellivision, my collection. So eventually we needed the operating system, the executive, and the graphic ROM. So we basically popped those chips off of their soldered the cartridge, and plugged the cartridge right into the dumper, and ran it off just like a cartridge. So when we
that's how you got the exec and such.
Got the executive, got the graphic ROM.
Yep.
So we kept going, and we discovered, I was looking. Basically, my job was to get technical assistance, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Carl was finding out information on the Intellivision, and I was writing it all down. And that's when I started putting in a document that I called Day Ray Intellivision, which is based on stolen from Day Ray Atari from Chris Crawford, the Atari.
Okay. Yeah.
So I started putting all this information in this document, and whatever Carl needed tech-wise, we got them. And then I started calling out for every cartridge I could find, demos, you name it, borrowing anything and everything, just to dump the cartridges.
The dump.
So we got. Go ahead.
What was the most difficult? What were some of the most difficult things for you to find back in that day to dump? Like we know there's 125 now. At that time, you didn't really have a figure in mind, did you? Or did you know there were 125 games? I don't think so.
No, I didn't know there were 125, but I did know there were demo carts that I didn't have. Things like Congo Bongo, Super Cobra.
Yep.
A lot of the more difficult titles, I had to borrow some of them.
Yeah.
And so I actually had them mailed in, would dump them, and then send them back.
Sure.
And then eventually we ended up borrowing, we found a T card.
Yes.
Which was interesting. And we dumped the cartridge for that, and it was basically thin ice. It was called Dunvu, which is basically Duncan's thin ice. It was the 16K version with the Vuchko.
Yeah. We don't know. Originally, that game was built for the Yugoslavian Olympics using the Vuchko, which was the mascot for that. There's actually a ROM version out with Vuchko. I think I have it on mine somewhere. I don't know.
I have the ROM. In fact, one time Keith and I were going to release it, but that never happened. So, but So anyway, we contacted Keith to do some questions about tech stuff, because we couldn't figure out, when reading the exec, why it disappeared, blah, blah, blah. So we had all these questions that we were asking the only person we knew. So we started talking to Keith, and when it turned into one of his fun facts about, one of the questions that people asked. I don't know if you've been on his site, but he had this one fun fact that, someone asked this weird technical question about the Intellivision. Well, that was us trying to figure it out. So little by little, we chipped away at the Intellivision and got it to run games.
And he got back into it. Keith.
Who got back into what? Oh, Keith
also got back into it. You said
Well, what happened was eventually, once we had everything going, we wanted to do other things, like, for example, the ECS, right? How do you get the ECS working? So I plug my ECS into the cart dumper, and we rip off the, we read the ROM, and only a bit of it comes in. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And we open it up, and inside, I don't know if you've ever looked inside an ECS, but the chip in there is basically has a blob of an epoxy on there. You can't pop the chip out of the socket. There's no socketed chip. It's basically a circuit right on the board, and with a blob of epoxy. The only way you can get it off is to ruin it, right?
Yeah, you would destroy. I know what you mean. I've seen those before. Different things. It's just like a big pile of rubber over top.
So we're going, how the heck do we do this? So we plug it in. We only got a bit of the ECS exec. So I got the bright idea. It was actually my idea. Plug in the keyboard.
Yeah.
Under the ECS, and presto, the rest of the ECS exec showed up, and we dumped the whole thing. So that's how we got the ECS exec.
That's wild.
Then we plugged in the IntelliVoice, got information off the IntelliVoice, which led to the reverse engineering of that. We started, then we said, hey, we want to do Intellivision controllers. So Scott built this interface called INTV2PC.
Yep.
Which
I remember that.
Allowed us to plug an interface into the parallel port. This is before USBs were, so you could plug an Intellivision 1 or Intellivision 2 keyboard, a controller into this board that plugged into your parallel port and read off there, and we could actually play in baseball with real Intellivision controllers. And the first two that we did, we did hardwired. They were hardwired. So in this massive box of just a whole bunch of wires. And we sent one to Carl, and we had one and plugged it in, and presto, it worked first time.
That's amazing. I looked real quick. You talk about T-carts. There's a T-cart right there. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, that's a T-card, yes.
And they would have been used by just the programmers back in the day. That's what they would be putting the things on, because they could write right to it, correct?
They put the game on standard EEPROMs, used in a standard EEPROM burner, and they would put it, and the rest of the circuitry on the T card would do the address latching. It would tell the program where in memory it's supposed to go, which is basically the equivalent of the CFG file, the config file. Huh. See, when we did dumps, we ended up with this binary file, but where do you put it in memory, right?
Yeah.
Do you put it at 7,000 where the keyboard component starts? Do you put it at 4,800, or do you put it at 5,000? So whatever memory location you're supposed to put it at is determined by the config. Most of the early games have a standard config, same config for baseball, same for checker, same for all the early ones. But when they started getting bigger games, things started to move around, and things like memory and chess require different memory locations. So that's why the config is an important file for the emulators. And people just discard them. Like, the ROM file has basically the CFG and the bin together. But people are, what do we need these CFG files for? I had some guy buy a ROM and then just delete the CFG. And I go, why'd you do that? I don't know. I didn't think I needed it.
Why would it be there? You didn't need it.
Yeah, why would it be there? Yeah. So we came up with those. That was the first method for the first emulator with bin and CFG. That's why that's a legacy. And then eventually the ROM system came out, but the ROM system wasn't perfect because it didn't deal with bank switching. So the ROM system was meant for the cuddle cart to make it easier. And I remember when that came out, I think Carl said that I stole this from Carl. I said, you needed a degree in stupid software to be able to load the cuddle cart.
That was, all I've ever heard. Of course, that was before my time being involved in a whole lot. But the cuddle cart was like labor intensive. You could only put one on, or you could put
it was a mess. You had to go through some text file to add games. And every time you had to do it, you had to figure it out again. Like you have to relearn it. If I wanted to put a game on the cuddle card again, I'd have to relearn how to do it.
It was so complex.
It's such a mess. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then so we got these cuddle cards, which was the first multi card that that we were. But before that, I'm playing baseball on the Intellivision on my Intellivision 386 with real hand controllers.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, there's no such thing as an Intellivision emulator."
So, but tell me about that. So, which emulator were you using at that time? That was Carl's emulator.
Yes, INTV PC.
Okay.
INTV PC. That's
so. Is
the
there
world
a link?
television.
Is there a link between Carl's emulator and Joe's emulator, JZINTV?
Loose. Well, okay. I'll tell you what happened. So basically, we did the emulator and then we showed it to Keith.
Right.
Now I can go over that, but fast forward.
Yeah.
Keith ends up buying the emulator off of Carl.
Okay.
And wanted to release it as Intellivision Lives, right?
Gotcha. I am right here. Just keep going.
So, but before that, he wanted to do a little teaser ROM. No, that's the second one.
That's
television.
This is Lives and Rocks right here.
Yeah, the first CD is on the left.
Yeah, Intellivision Lives.
Intellivision Lives, yeah.
That was Carl's emulator.
Yeah, what happened was it was for the PC. He bought it, and then he wanted to release what they call a Volume 1. So in Volume 1 for Intellivision, and it was supposed to run 3 games. I forget what the games were.
Astro Smash was one of them because I remember that there's 3 of them ended up coming out, right?
Astro Smash was there. So I remember it was like 97 this was supposed to come out, and I was in Europe at a friend's house in Sweden, and I'm watching this on the internet. So before Carl dropped this package, Scott and I we instructed him. Scott instructed me, and I instructed Carl, and we both talked to him about how to encrypt the emulator,
right?
ROMs, so you couldn't just rip it out of the Volume 1, right?
Yep.
Carl got lazy and he didn't do it.
Oh, really?
So this thing drops. Suddenly, the internet goes crazy.
I hear ya. That's right.
And this guy named Joe Zipchak and Frank Palazzolo, these 2 clowns,
yeah,
they start ripping the thing. And they have the emulator within a couple of days. They have it ripped out of the Volume 1, and are adding new.
Yeah.
And I'm going, Carl, what the hell did you do? How the hell did he break the encryption?
Not only the ROMs, they got the emulator itself.
Yeah, they got the emulator. They got everything. So
wow.
I emailed Frank and Joe. And I said, "Hey guys, don't do this. You're wrecking this product that's going to come out.
Yeah,
you're blowing this, right? We thought this was going to be huge. Thought it was going to be a huge product.
Sure.
So we wanted to be involved in it, and we had the Intellivision hand controller interface that worked with it, the whole bit.
Yeah. What extras were added to Miss Pac-Man?
Pac-Man were added, yes.
What extras?
Speed.
Oh, okay. Just to speed it up.
You play the game. You'll see though. There's these things you can add, right? Features that you can.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good. Let's go in. I want to play some of his games anyway. So why don't we go in, Jeff, right now and play some Miss Pac-Man, and Willie and I will talk while we're playing it. And you tell us some of the things about this game and such. Will you, Willie? We'll do this real quickly. Then we'll go on to D2K. How's that sound, Willie?
Sure.
D2K is your baby, right? in a way.
That's basically how I started. And
Let's do Miss Pac-Man first, Jeff, and then we'll do. I changed screens again here. I got it up now.
Ah,
Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, I'm gonna do
that's
that.
not good.
crash.
Yeah, I did that to you a couple weeks ago, though. You got it. Perfect. I wonder if the credits roll in this one. I don't know. But the options in this game, there are a lot of different options in Miss Pac-Man here.
Those are the so-called extras. Yeah.
Those are the extras you're talking about. That makes perfect sense. Like you change whether Junior Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. Wow, different modes, number of lives, when your bonus is at, speed on and off. Wow. We'll just play the basic here as it starts. Well, Jeff gets rebooted here.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring this back up here.
How is my sound, Jeff? Can you
I don't hear
anything?
anything.
Don't hear any game sound? I am going to turn that up a little bit then.
The reason that I found out Carl passed was I was making some D2K copies,
right,
and my file, and I couldn't find a file that I was looking for.
yes,
Basically, the cartridge version of DK has sound on, and I had the JLP version, and I had the raw version. What I did was I used a wrapper that Joe wrote. And
okay,
the Elektronite splash comes on in some copies.
okay,
That turns it into a JLP required game. So I wanted to put it on a standard cart. So and I wanted the voice to default to on. So I couldn't find that file. So I saw Carl's account online on Teams, and I haven't been to him since May 25th. So I saw and I sent a few messages going, "Hey, can you verify that June 3rd, 2012 is the release version of D2K, blah, blah, blah," and a couple other questions. In the morning,
right.
on Teams, I'm blocked. Well, what the heck's going on? Why would Carl block me?
Oh, yes.
I guess what happened was his wife or his son was using his computer, and he appeared online. So they basically, I didn't want to talk to me, and they blocked me.
Oh.
So I went on Facebook and saw the horrible news and was absolutely jaw dropped, and it was a bit of a shock for sure.
Wow.
So it's been a bit of an adjustment to deal with this
For sure.
because Carl's been ill. I never spoke to him a lot, but I think I spoke to him more than anyone.
Yep.
Because a lot of people don't know that he programmed this with voice.
This one with voice?
Yes, and DK Arcade, and he did voice. He programmed all this with voice.
We played DK Arcade before you come on, and I turned the voice on.
Oh, the voice, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean he used voice commands.
Voice. No, understood. And I talked about that as well because on the Intellivisionaries podcast again, I'm going to put a link in the video. He talks about how he does all of his programming with voice. Now,
Right.
Was he still at the end, I wonder?
Well, he had, unfortunately, his voice programming stopped working on once Windows 7 went to Windows 10.
Oh, really?
Windows 8. It broke his programming environment. So that's why he wasn't really doing anything, is because his programming environment was gone and he couldn't type.
He talks about that in the interview about it. I think he adjusted something, an existing type of software to be used specifically for what he needed to do.
Right. So he was using Windows 11, and he basically got something sort of working, and he get back into the swing of things by adding eyes to Pac-Man,
Right.
and then he would be able to do more programming. And ironically, we had talked about the fact that people don't really give us credit for essentially creating the Intellivision Homebrew Community.
Right.
Like I remember once I was at Portland and I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Simone, I forget, Razati.
Yeah.
And a few people talking, and I'm a little bit drunk, and I just come out and I say, I started the Intellivision Homebrew Community. And you see their look on their face like, oh, you're full of shit.
Well,
so Joe was talking to people, and I interrupted Joe. I go, hey, Joe, I said, did I start the Intellivision Homebrew Community? And he looks over at me, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he paused and he thought, and he says a few sentences, and then he goes, yes, you did. You could have picked their jaws up off the floor. Because everyone thinks that, oh, Joe did the first emulator, Joe did the first homebrew game. You know what? D2K Arcade was the first homebrew game. D2K Arcade was started back. D2K Arcade was started back when the emulator was being written.
Back in 1997, 6 or 7.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah,
97 stuff out.
So let's talk about the evolution between Donkey Kong Arcade, or DK Arcade, I should say. It's hard to DK Arcade and D2K Arcade.
Did you get the demo that I sent? Did you play
I
that?
did. Okay, and actually, you know what? I'm going to show that real quickly, Jeff. Before we start playing that, I'm going to show that demo that Willie sent me. I'm sorry, I do have it right here. Where is it? One of them worked, one of them didn't. DK demo right here works. I'm going to put this on full screen for a second. Tell us what this is, Willie. It's only going to take a minute or two, Jeff.
That's fine.
This is how it starts.
This is the first thing that he did.
This is the very first thing that he did, like in the 90s, right?
Yeah, this was 97 or so.
This right here is smooth. Oh,
This is back when the emulator was being written. Before the Intellivision came out.
so this is like the very earliest incantation of this game before it was ever prepped or released. This is what basically it sat on for quite a few years, right?
Yeah, this is basically the demo. They were in 2 parts at one point.
Oh,
Like the climbing and the first screen were in 2 parts that were put together. So this isn't the actual first version of this, but it's a early demo before the game was finished.
it does have a little bit different feel. I didn't get to the top. I didn't get to the top once here. Oh, come on.
So this is before JZI and TV ever existed, before Tetris ever existed.
Oh, there we go. But this is what happens when you get to the top.
Yes, sir.
And it goes back to start. So that is so cool, so historic to see this still available, right? Carl's earliest work.
Yeah, this is some of his earliest work. I mean,
Yeah. But I mean, you can see the foundation is here for that game.
yeah. So this is what existed when when Charlie kept trying to get us to finish it, right? So we can't put it on cart. So finally, we got Joe to agree that if you call it D2K Arcade, that he would put it on cart for us.
Wow.
Wow, Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that before. He climbs down the ladder. That's pretty cool, eh?
He swung the barrel over, and that's when I died. That's cool. Yeah, that is so neat. So I'm gonna exit full screen. There we go. And look, so I started actually that. Thank you for reminding me, because I had that on there and I really wanted to.
Did you show the the DOS emulator?
No, because that would not work.
What do you mean it wouldn't work? Did you try DOSBox?
I couldn't get it downloaded properly, and it wouldn't let me run the exec. I got to play with it a little bit.
So if you just open it on Windows and then click on DOSBox, it'll load the whole thing by itself.
Right, but my system wouldn't let me do it, and I was pressed for time there at the end. My system wouldn't let me do it right now. So,
well, if you want to show the the DOS emulator that basically we came up with, and then eventually did a menu, and that's the menu wrapped around DK Arcade and D2K. It's kind of cool.
Okay,
but
right now,
Carl used that emulator right up to the end. That's how he developed all his stuff on his own emulator. So he would use his DOS emulator to write his Pac-Man. And then
as far as I want to roll into for the D2K. Yes.
So Carl Mueller made D2K Special Edition. So, but anyway, the point is that Carl looked at the hack called D2K Jumpman Returns and decided that 2 of the screens were not suitable for the Intellivision.
Why?
Difficult to do.
Oh, okay, fair.
So he created his own 2 screens, used 2 DK Jumpman Return screens, and became D2K Jumpman or D2K Arcade. So it's based on Jumpman Returns. It's not actually Jumpman Returns. Get it?
I think so.
So D2K is a meld of Intellivision, 2 Intellivision screens, unique to the Intellivision, and 2 screens from the arcade pack called Jumpman Returns. That's what D2K is. Understand?
I think I do.
So 2 Intellivision screens, unique to Intellivision, 2 from the arcade hack. So that then we decided that we're going to release DK Arcade as a standalone.
Yes.
And we're going to put Japanese mode in it, so you can have Japanese mode in DK Arcade. Because the second screen is the rivet screen. That's supposed to be the 4th screen. Because when DK falls down, hits his head, and Mero is reunited with Pauline.
Yes.
That's the end of the game. That's the final screen.
Right.
But in the American version, that's the 2nd screen. The cement factory is the first. Is the 4th screen in the American version. So
right.
What we did was we came up with the Japanese version, and then the American version, and then we decided that we would default the voice to on for the cartridge version. So that's what I was trying to get the other night from Carl, but found out he didn't respond.
Right. Wow.
So anyway, that's what DK Arcade is. So D2K was basically a version of Jumpman Returns. It wasn't the complete version. So Tim Neighbor decided to make Homebrew Inc. And he talked to Carl to do basically the arcade version of Jumpman Returns. So that's where the special edition came in.
I see.
Special edition is basically Jumpman Returns with all 4 screens. The how high screen is an elevator instead of the stacked donkey cards. So you see on the right, go game go. you'll see the stacked Donkey Kong here.
Yes.
Okay, that's from DK Arcade, right?
Wow. I hate this level. Hey, Carlos. This level is so hard. We gonna
So
try one more
basically,
game.
the
So,
special edition.
yep. That's what I wanted to know was like, what exactly is different between the special edition and this one that I'm playing?
Special edition has the packed version of the "How high can you get" screen. Looks like an elevator. Looks like an elevator.
Gotcha.
He goes up an elevator instead of stacked Donkey Kongs. Has all 4 screens from Jumpman Returns. All 4 screens. Has high scores saved on the card.
Okay. Yep.
That's basically it.
That's basically it. But
Also, game 2.
Yep.
Game 2 is not DK Arcade. Game 2 is D2K. This version, the Intellivision version. So if you own DK Arcade and you own D2K Special Edition, you own all of the Donkey Kong content that Carl did.
oh, I see. Yep. Fair enough. I'm going to pull that back out there and we'll talk a little bit. We get to see all the games anyway. That's what I wanted to make sure we showed everybody the games that he made, the things that so many people play these games. I'm sitting here thinking.
I'll send you Game Boy Color for Intellivision. You can show that. He did that too.
Oh wow, that would be neat. I will show that sometime.
For time on the Game Boy Color is pretty cool.
That would be really friggin' interesting.
So this is all, we were just talking a couple months ago how no one gave us any credit for, starting the homebrew community.
Yeah.
And, I actually offered the Portland Retro Gaming Expo a panel on how Intellivision Homebrew came about, and they refused. Sure. They didn't want to hear it. So, whatever.
Hey, go back, put up that picture again. I love it. I love it. That's so awesome right there. So once again, guys, there's Willie on the left. How old were you there?
37.
Frank and Carl would have been a few years younger than you, right?
10 years younger.
10 years younger?
Would have been in his late 20s there.
Yeah.
That was just before he went to Japan. The interesting thing about Carl and myself was we talked every day on the internet back when the emulator was being developed.
Sure.
Around the 2002, he told me, he says, I'm moving to Japan. He says, I have some news. I'm moving to Japan. And I said, I have some news. I'm moving to Japan.
You moved to Japan too?
Yeah.
How long did you live in Japan? You've told me this before too. But I mean, I know you're in Thailand now.
I lived in Japan from 2002
yeah,
to 2010. So about 8 years.
Wow. So you guys, what a coincidence. They both ended up in Japan the same year.
I actually met Carl once in Detroit there and 2 times in Japan.
Okay. Really?
So,
those are the only times you guys met face to face.
We went out to dinner. I went out to dinner with his wife and him in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then we met in Yokohama once when he was in Yokohama.
Oh, so cool. I suppose, man, the world is so different now. Like you talk about all the different people, how many times you've met so-and-so face to face. Look at how many people we know that we've never met face to face now.
Right.
Right? It's so incredible. Like
you actually know someone before you've actually met them. You never met that guy.
Oh, we never met face to face.
Yeah, we did finally.
We did.
I mean, but it didn't feel like different.
No.
No.
Like, okay. this is like we're here. There's no screen. Like it's so cool. It's like I don't know. It's amazing.
Well, that was the interesting thing is that we were collaborating with people around the world.
Sure. Yep.
You know, like one of the things that Carl wanted during the development was the executive, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So Keith said, "Oh, I don't have the executive source code. Sorry." So I went out and got it.
Yeah.
I found Dave Rolfe and got the source code.
Cool.
And
cool. That's who would have it.
I emailed it to Keith, and he flipped out.
Oh, brother.
He got really
mad. You know, one little point that I wanted to make, like tonight, like we heard this news recently, right? Like just today, it really sort of got out, and Carl had passed away back on July 5th, right?
July 6th.
July 6th. So it's kind of strange. Like we take it for granted. We live in this world where we interact with people all the time online, like we do, like looking at the chat. I'm talking to the people in the chat, you know. It's like over the 3-4 years that we've done this, right back to the days of being on Amico All Access. I think about those days and the people that were in those chat rooms that you met and you'd see every week. And some of them stick around. Like Jeff and I have been close ever since. Lance Jennings, there's people in this chat, Salvatore and stuff, who have been friends ever since, even though we may never have met. Salvatore and I have met face to face though too. Same place I met you. But it's kind of, we take it for granted, you know, and then all of a sudden somebody isn't there anymore. And Jeff and I have had the conversations about, do you remember such and such a person who used to be there all the time? And we haven't seen them in 6 months. What happened? And it's so easy for events to happen in people's lives when your interactions are always online like this and not be aware of things that happen to people. So I just want to, my little take is to don't take it for granted. You know, it's like, watch out.
Some people just drop out of the scene
for whatever reason, whether the reason is because their choice or not their choice, right?
Yeah, what I mean is they lose interest or whatever life happens.
Absolutely, William. But also there's other reasons people drop out too, because like, for example, all of a sudden nobody had heard from Carl. Carl had sent ROMs in June and then it stopped obviously. And it's like, what's going on? It's like
a year ago I was friends with Peter Oliphant. You know who he is?
You've told me this before too, because that sounds very familiar. But go ahead, please.
He was a programmer who wrote Mr. Cool for the Atari 400, 800 for Sierra.
Okay. Yep.
And he also did Skull. He did Skull Keep for the PC.
Yep.
And I became friends with him online. I forget how, but I became friends with him, and he was actually writing the Amico version of Miner 2049er for me.
Okay. Yep.
And when that fell apart, he was going to translate Mr. Cool into the Intellivision. He was going to do an Intellivision version of Mr. Cool, and he was just trying to get permission from Sierra.
Yep.
And I used to see all these posts on Facebook. He used to like this Russian band called Little Big, and he would post all these videos. And then suddenly I realized I hadn't seen him in 6 months. And then I found out he passed away. You know,
that's what I remember you telling me. Yeah.
It's shocking.
It's I don't know. It's like, okay, I have a stream on tonight. I have a video scheduled to open up tomorrow, and I have 8 or 10 shorts ready to go for the next week. Then all of a sudden I never have another video game. Nobody would ever know what happened to me.
Actually,
a little more of it go through, and it's just something to be conscientious of, and it's sad. It's sad.
The interesting thing was Peter was an extra. Peter was an extra on the Mary Tyler Moore show, or with Dick Van Dyke.
Oh wow!
What was that? He was Freddie Friend or whatever.
Oh wow!
That was his character on there. So he was an actor. I spoke with him on the phone a few times from Japan. You know, I was in Japan. I actually had a phone call with him.
Oh wow! So cool. Anyway, guys, I think we're after time now. William, thank you so much for coming on here tonight and telling us the stories about everything and tell us about Carl and your work with him back in the day, because today's a day to look back and be appreciative for everything that Carl did, and remember Carl for man, these great games he made, but also the great work that you guys did for starting this whole homebrew community. Because man, here we are, right?
We missed for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't done, and that was the tragic part.
Yeah,
and people want to just quickly, they wonder why he passed away so early. Nobody knows what his problem was, but he was in chronic pain.
Yes,
and doctors didn't know what was wrong. I believe that the reason he passed away was something to do with that, but
yeah,
nobody knows. And his family, I haven't spoken with his family. I sent a message to his sister. She hasn't responded.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people are asking me. What happened to Carl? I don't know, but
no. And
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something to do with the mystery problem that he had.
Sure. And I'm going to say this: nobody needs to know. It's okay not to know. Yeah. I mean, we know enough. And what we really need to know is Carl's time has passed. He did amazing things for this community, and we should just be thankful for it and leave it at that.
The only thing is that he's not a pain anymore.
That's right. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Anyway, guys, have a great night. Thank you, everybody who was in the chat. Jeff, Willie, don't go anywhere. The video will play afterwards, and then we'll be right back here offline. And guys, thank you. Play a little bit of DK Arcade, D2K, Miss Pac-Man in memory of Carl, and have a great week. And remember all the people that are here in chat, and say goodbye as we go. Take care. Now I'll find my film, and there it is. Night, everybody.